What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Uberkooledgarage. I've been extremely busy the last probably 2 months. I've been trying to finish off these couple restaurants that I have, and also picked up another job. So I've been working 2 jobs, basically from 3 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. So I haven't had a ton of time to work on the bug or finish up Ryan's car. But I think the second job is done now. So I should be able to get back onto Ryan's car, I would say, next weekend. Try and finish that thing off. All I have is a couple little tiny things on it. And then I'm sure after the holiday, he will come pick it up. I'll probably end up doing a video on that next week, just kind of explaining what has happened and all the stuff to fix the problems that it's having. But today we are hopping into bug stuff, because that's all the little small stuff that small amount of time that I've had, just doing little stuff here and there. So let's go ahead and hop into this episode, and hope you guys enjoy. Well, the garage is a mess at the moment. I had to catch up on some house chores. Ended up putting a slider in the shop, 8-foot slider, so get some sunlight in here, which is pretty nice. But as you can see, I got the body back on the chassis, just to kind of get everything fit and figure out where everything needs to go. Like I need to weld a channel onto the cage, the same level as this. That way I can just run a straight panel across. But as I was doing that, I was going to continue that all the way around the whole thing. That way this whole panel can go in here and all of that. With the trans in the car, I wanted to test fit the intercooler. Well, the water-to-air intercooler doesn't fit in the same location that it did with the 5-speed, due to the 6-speed being so much larger. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to mount it here in this section. I'll have a mount that comes off the bottom of this roll bar, the roll cage piece, and it'll mount to the one side, and then the other side will bolt into the body right here. So I'm gonna have to cut this section out to get it to slide back a little bit and raise up. That way it clears the clutch sleeve and the starter. So we're just gonna notch this away little by little until it fits good. The intercooler pipe's probably still gonna come through this section here, and I'm not 100% sure on routing, if I want to go up and over like I did before, or if I want to clock the turbo a different way and maybe bring it straight in this way and straight out this way into the throttle body. So with doing it this way, the actual turbo piping is going to be a lot shorter. So that should benefit and help as well. So it's kind of a win-win thing. I'm also moving some of the weight more forward over the axles more to try and balance out the car a little bit better. So there's a couple benefits to doing this way. So I just need to notch this out and start test fitting the intercooler, and then make some rear body mounts to the chassis. That way all of this stays where it needs to. And then, start building out all of the panels around the body to close off the firewall. So let's go ahead and start notching this and get it where it needs to sit. And then we can start getting everything else situated. We'll pull the motor and trans after that. That way I can kind of sit in where the motor is right now to get to all these panels. You guys just saw me start welding the nose cone of the transmission, the 6-speed. So I went through, sawzalled off the 4-wheel drive part of it. I actually took it down a lot further than most people do. So I wanted to, try and cut as much weight out of the transmission as possible. So I made some caps, started welding those in. Don't judge the welds too much. I am still learning how to TIG weld, but actually, surprisingly, for how dirty this metal was, these actually turned out pretty darn good. So got all this stuff welded in on the inside, and then went through, welded it on the outside, and put it on the belt sander, sanded the whole thing down so it's all nice and smooth now. I'm probably going to sandblast this whole thing, and I'll probably end up doing a little bit of JB weld in some of the little tiny pits. And then after that, then we will powder coat this whole section here, get it all black. I have the reverse lockout and all of that stuff out of it. So we'll go ahead and sandblast and powder coat this, get that all cleaned up. The last couple days, I have been powder coating like crazy. So originally, I started using the red powder coat, and unfortunately, it kept turning pink, and I couldn't figure out why or what was going on. But turns out I wasn't leaving it in the oven long enough. So I've been powder coating anything and everything I can. So got the upper front suspension, one of the lowers I have to TIG weld, the other one still learning how to TIG weld. So the welds on this one I actually went through, ground down, and used the TIG welder to weld it, and it turned out looking a lot better. So got that powder coated. The red is absolutely beautiful. This is just inside the shop, so in the sun it is very flaky. There's quite a bit of red flake in there, so it looks really, really good. Also went through and did the entire pedal assembly, so everything's black. I got the red pedals, powder coated the master cylinders, clutch, and the brake. So all this turned out really good. Also went through and powder coated up the brake reservoir. So I have to figure out a way to get the vents, that way they don't let air into the actual brake fluid. But other than that, that reservoir's done. all of this stuff is looking so darn good. So sway bar end links, the caps for the grease shields. So I've just been powder coating and stuff. I haven't filmed any of it just because it is pretty time consuming to get everything all situated, and it's a lot of back and forth. But I will definitely try and film some more powder coat stuff as I go along. I have the front sway bar and I'm working on the rear sway bar right now. Also been doing quite a bit of body work off camera. That way I don't bore you guys with all of that. But this car is definitely going to turn out pretty darn crazy. So I'm getting super excited. I'm pushing myself extremely hard to get this thing done. So another thing, I actually picked up the resin for the carbon fiber. So carbon fiber parts will be coming very soon. I'm going to start making block off panels, and we'll get into the door rear quarter panel, and then all the block off panels in the back will all be carbon as well. So the last time I talked about all of this, I was trying to fit the water to air intercooler. The more that I looked at it and tried to get it to fit, the more I realized that it would be really hard to try and mount the intercooler in there with the engine and trans in there. I know that I have more than enough clearance between the trans and where the intercooler is going to sit. So before I pull the engine and trans out of the car, the biggest thing that I have to do is the rear sway bar. But before the sway bar, got the nose cone of the transmission all welded up. You can see it's all powder coated black now. Turned out fantastic. Don't judge the aluminum welds too much. I am still learning how to TIG weld, but no leaks. It turned out actually really good. It's nice and smooth on the outside. Nice gloss black powder coat on there, so I don't ever have to worry about it chipping or anything like that. But the sway bar. So the sway bar, I've had the sway bar for quite a while. I haven't had really an idea of how to mount it until recently. But the sway bar is kind of the last thing that I have to do before the engine and trans can come out to finish all of the body mounts and the intercooler and all of that stuff. But I've been scratching my head on this for a long time. So I have made a couple mounts, actually really nice mounts. I really like how they turned out. These will get the standard Volkswagen poly bushings with a strap that goes over top that'll bolt into these two bolts here on each side. I shortened the sway bar a long time ago, and I'm kind of an idiot and made sure that it was level side to side when I welded it, but I didn't realize that the arms on each side are at different angles. So I am going to have to cut these sleeves off and readjust the sway bar where I need it and weld those in. But kind of made a jig to hold the mounting brackets where I need them. That way they're on the same plane, they're level side to side and all that. But once we get these mounts mounted in, get those welded in. I'll fix the sleeved part, get those nice ground down, ready to go. Make sure that everything is centered where it needs to. And then I can come down here and make my mounts off of the lower control arms. And then after that, the lower control arms can come off. I'm actually going to TIG weld all of the joints. I'm going to grind down the MIG welds because they're not the prettiest. So I'm going to TIG weld all those, and then I can powder coat all of the rear suspension. So sway bar is kind of a big thing to proceed with a lot of other projects that need to be done. So we're going to go ahead and get this welded in, get this all situated, and just keep moving forward on all the rest of the stuff. Another big one is the shifter. I got to get that new mount and make sure that everything functions the way that it needs to. And then the engine and trans can come out. Well, with my busy schedule, anytime that I get a little bit of extra time, I've been powder coating parts. It only takes 20 minutes, 25 minutes to powder coat parts. So anytime that I get a chance, I powder coat something. As my schedule's super busy, so I have been working on getting all of the front suspension completely powder coated. There's only like one or two things that I have left to fix up and powder coat, but I got the sway bars done. So sway bar, front sway bar, all welded together, powder coated, this beautiful red. So it's got plenty of flake in it. Turned out really good. Got the upper strut bar, and then you saw the picture of the A-arms. So I got both A-arms, top and bottom. I got the spindles powder coated black. I have the steering arms powder coated, as well as the end links for the sway bar, also powder coated black. My misalignment spacers, got all those powder coated as well. So everything front suspension wise is pretty much powder coated. I only have one more thing to do, which is the camber adjustment bolt. I actually ordered new ones because when I originally did these, I tapered one way more than the other. So ordered some new ones. I'll taper those the same. That way they sit in there perfect. And then I'll get those powder coated and thrown in. And then after that, everything in the front suspension is completely powder coated. Next, I'll probably hop into getting all of the steering stuff all powdered as well. I'm still not 100% sure on if I'm going to do my calipers or not. More than likely, I probably will until I order the brake upgrade. So I've been thinking about switching over to the bigger Willwood front calipers. So all of that's looking absolutely incredible. Super, super happy with all of that. I got the front end on to try and figure out the tilt system. And I'll start building the fenders and stuff, the over fenders for all of that. Time to start getting that thing all finished up so then I can paint. Also got the motor pulled out. It's a very quick and easy process on this car. Basically the rear center cradle unbolts, and well, the mid center cradle unbolts, and so does the rear one, and the whole thing just drops out of the bottom. So that was quick and easy to do. Got it all out. The only thing I had to really unplug was the throttle cable and the wiring harness. So pretty much the only thing left in the car is brake lines and wiring. After that, pull all of this stuff out and start finishing off the actual chassis, getting all my tabs in and all of that. My firewall stuff, get all that all done. Also got the rear sway bar powder coated as well, so that turned out really awesome. I didn't ever finish welding the mounts, but now that the transmission is out of my way, I can weld those up, get those all done. I still have to make my tabs down here on the lower A-arms for the sway bar links, but after I get those in, then the rear suspension can come off. All of that can get powder coated as well. The motor and transmission's there. It's time to pull this thing completely apart, powder coat the actual case, make sure all of the inside gears are good, all the synchros, all that stuff, and then rebuild that. I have everything to rebuild that, including some extra goodie parts, and got the actual shift linkage basically done. So this plate here I'm gonna have to modify and make different. So once all that stuff gets back put together, I'll show you how all of that stuff works. As far as motor, this thing is filthy. So I originally painted the entire engine black. I'm probably going to clean all that stuff up. Not 100% sure on what I'm going to do with all of this yet, but the valve covers will come off, get powder coated. The intake will come off. We'll get port matched and then powder coated as well. As far as motor wise, I'm not 100% sure on which route I want to go with it yet. I don't know if I want to build it or what, but for now we'll clean it up, get everything powder coated and ready to go, just in case I decide to throw this back in the car, get it running, driving. I do have a spare block back there that I might send in to get built or closed decked or sleeved or something. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm still up on the fence with all of that stuff, but we're making really good progress. The car is definitely starting to come together, and it's kind of crazy because there's nothing in it, but we're looking pretty darn good, and we'll just keep working forward. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you on this one. Like I said in the beginning of the video, Ryan's car will probably be next week's video, getting all that stuff situated and sorted out. That way he can come pick it up probably after the holidays. As far as bug stuff goes, we still have a lot of work to do, but we are looking pretty darn good on everything that is coming together. So I have now boxes and boxes and boxes of parts that are finished, that are ready to go on, all brand new seals, like a ton of stuff. So basically just stacking everything, getting it all ready. So then as soon as we finish painting the car and probably going to end up powder coated, having the chassis powder coated, as soon as all that stuff comes together, we can put together a hopefully pretty awesome car and start driving it, start showing it, probably start looking into races and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for watching and commenting and liking. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. It means a lot. So let's continue on with all the projects, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.